Hello and welcome to the Rock Your Voice podcast. I just wanted to pop in quickly and let you know that the singer and songwriter retreat in beautiful British Columbia, Canada is taking place July 24th to 29th, and we are almost sold out. So make sure you check out the details. I'll put the links in the show notes, but be sure to visit rocketvocalstudios.com/retreats for all the information. Without further ado, here's my conversation with Josh Stumpf. So today on the podcast, I'm joined by Josh Stumpf, who is an awesome artist with the MDM label. And you may know, well, you must know if you listen to the podcast, Jess Moskaluk. And we've also had Savannah Jade on the podcast too, from the same label family. And Josh and I worked on his new single, Highway Money, way back in September before he went into the studio to record it. It's now been recorded. It's awesome. It's been released and it's fantastic. And you must go and stream it and listen to it. But I wanted to have Josh on the show to talk about his journey, because literally he just logged on to Zoom and we're looking at each other like, how long has it been? And like, it hasn't really been that long, but so much has happened in that time. Yeah. Like, you've been all over the place doing all the things, all the promos. So I think this is really cool to have you on, because a lot of people listening are either coming into the same sort of position as you or wanting to step into the same level of artistry as you. And I think it's so cool to share what that actually looks like when things start moving and the momentum happens. So let's kind of start from the start, Josh. Tell me, how and when did you start getting into music?
I've kind of always been into music. Like when I was a kid, Mom would only find movies that had music in them.
Oh, cool.
Because it was the only ones I'd sit down and watch.
Nice. Which movies come to top of mind?
There's one that like I watched. My dad hates it now because I made him watch it on repeat, but it was called The Country Bears. No one's ever heard of it.
Is this like a Berenstain Bear, like weird Mandela effect thing where like it didn't actually exist? It was just in Josh's mind.
My mom grabbed this out of like a Walmart bin, and it had, the cast was crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure Bonnie Raitt played one of the bears. Willie Nelson's in the movie.
What?
Some other lady, what the hell's her name? Another big actress. I think Elton John's in the movie.
Stop.
Yeah,
okay,
like there's like big
okay.
names in this movie, but it's literally just a bunch of guys in like bear suits, like they look like bears, and they're bears who sing country music. And
I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese nightmare.
Yeah, but the soundtrack was dope, man.
And literally it says how the Country Bears became the strangest Disney movie ever. And
yeah, and it was my favorite movie of all time.
Christopher Walken?
Oh yeah, he's in the movie too. I forgot.
Oh my, Haley Joel Osment from I See Dead People. Okay, I know what I'm doing immediately after this. I'm gonna go and watch.
And the soundtrack is so good for being a children's movie. Like, it's really like a country music soundtrack. It's dope.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, this is like, what is it? Was it like Five Nights at Freddy's or something?
Yeah, they look like that, but worse.
And it's for kids. This is perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. So that was basically what inspired you to get into music, or one of your favorite?
We'll say that. I always listened to country music. That's what my dad listened to, like a lot of 90s country music. Mom, like, I remember sneaking out of our room because Mom had friends over, and like her girlfriends like drinking in the kitchen.
Love it.
And we'd have to go to bed, and we'd like crawl out and listen, and they're just dancing in the kitchen to like Shania Twain or something.
So awesome.
And then, or like whatever's dad playing in the garage. That in like early 2000s. I call it divorced dad music, but like the early 2000s, like rock stuff, like Nickelback, Creed, Three Doors Down, like that kind of stuff.
Divorce. That's a solid genre. I like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when did you start learning? When did you start playing and singing and all that stuff?
I took like band in elementary school and high school, and played like the saxophone.
Right.
But like at least there I knew how to read sheet music.
That's awesome.
And like get into that kind of it. But I didn't start playing like guitar and stuff until just going into high school, because I learned it at church.
Okay.
and then played in the worship band at church. And that's
Nice.
kind of where I really got it. But like me and my buddy would take a guitar to school, and like when the recess bell would ring in like the eighth grade,
Yeah.
we would go sit under a tree somewhere and pass the guitar back and forth and like learn new songs and stuff. And then going into high school, playing a little bit more guitar. I didn't start singing till like the end of high school, coming out of high school, and then started
Right.
songwriting.
Do you remember a moment when you were like, I want this to be my career? I want this to be my job?
Yes and no. It like has continuously kept building and building that feeling.
Uh-huh.
But like there was definitely I remember I was on my bike, like motorcycle, not like pedal bike. I
Yeah. Yeah.
was cruising around town and then I don't know, I remember driving by this one neighborhood and like in subdivisions where they build like a bunch of houses at a time so they
Uh-huh.
all look like identical.
Yeah. Yeah.
I looked at like a row of houses that all look the same with the same fence, same driveway, and the same cars. And I'm like, man, it's probably like the same types of families in there that are all worrying about money and how are we gonna
Right.
get the kids to school and just all the same problems. And I'm like, that seems so boring. I mean, for some people, that's
Right.
like what you want. Like that's what some people's dreams are, but not. I was like, that seems so boring.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to end up doing that and just like worrying about the little things like that. I want to
For
do
sure.
something like if you only get to live once, why not do something cool with it?
Yeah. I love that. Absolutely. So what how did you figure it out? How did you get from there to here? What were your steps? What did you do?
Well, okay, so I was living in Prince Albert,
Okay.
building houses for a little while. And then I went for just a little bit, I went to Smeaton and was farming.
Okay.
And then from there, I had moved to Saskatoon because I was like, oh, like, Saskatoon's got more bars where I can go do open mics and stuff.
For
And even
sure.
when I was farming, it was a trek. Like it was a 2.5 hour drive to go to Saskatoon, and I would still drive there once or twice a week to go hit open
Nice.
mics and come back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Um, but that's kind of how it started. Was there's open mics at the Capitol in Saskatoon,
Yeah,
and I had some buddies there who were like, "Man, you really gotta like record this one song that I was playing there,
for
which
sure.
was Drink Me a Lullaby."
Okay.
And I was like, "I don't know how to do that, and I have no money."
Right.
So,
Yep. Welcome to the
you know
music
what I mean?
industry.
Then he was like, okay, well, if we help you, will you do it? And I was like, yeah, like if you're willing to help me, yeah. So
Amazing.
they helped me do Drink Me a Lullaby and the next three that came after that,
Okay.
do a little project, and they got me in touch with everybody and helped me out financially and all that kind of stuff.
Love
So that
that.
got me started. And then because of Drink Me a Lullaby, that had got passed on to Mike at MDM.
Yeah.
That's how he heard it. And then they met up. Jess and Mike were on tour for Jess's radio tour,
Okay.
and they were coming through Saskatchewan like right after they had just heard that. So he DM'd me and was like, "You want to go for supper? Like,
I love
you know,
that.
we'd love to meet." So then we met up, talked a little bit, and then when they had come back around for Jess's Winter Wonderland tour,
Mm-hmm.
I came by and like played some songs in the green room with her, and
Nice.
then they offered me the deal after that, and now we're
Ah, that is
there.
wild because I would have been there for that day. I never got to meet you, unfortunately, but I was there with her that day with her doing voice stuff. So yeah, that's so
Oh, like in
wild.
Saskatoon?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Same time, same place,
Dang,
different.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's so wild. So, well, congratulations. And that is just a really perfect example of something that I'm always telling people is be ready for the opportunity.
Hmm.
It's like so many people kind of sit around waiting for something to happen and then think they'll go and record stuff and then think they'll go and practice and be better and confident to just rock up to a green room and perform for someone. It's like you did really well in putting the right steps in order to be ready and land the plane when that opportunity was there for you. So that's so awesome. Well done. That's
Well, luckily, I had a lot of really great people who believed in me enough to help me get to that point.
yes.
But there was a quote that I think I might have just seen it on Facebook or something, but it was like, success happens when um, preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely true, like 100%.
Absolutely.
Like there is
Absolutely.
certainly an amount of luck that goes into it
Yeah.
for sure, and
Yeah.
timing is everything.
Yeah.
but you got to be prepared for when that opportunity comes.
Absolutely. So what were the next steps after that? So there you I love that story. So there you were in the green room playing your songs, and then it all just kind of took off, and they were like, let's team up. So then what were the next steps? What happened to you next?
Well, then I had to get a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
and they had offered
Smart
me,
boy.
so then we kind of worked some stuff out and signed the agreement, and then it was go down to Nashville to write songs,
Love it.
which was crazy because this is the first time I'd been out of the country. They had to wait for me to get a passport so I could leave, and then
I love it. There we are. Be prepared for every opportunity. And then we all had to sit and wait for my passport to come in.
it got rejected the first time too
Oh no.
because I filled something out wrong, and they're like, "Ha, psych." I was so excited because I got a letter from the government, and I was like, "Oh, this must be my passport."
Oh
And then I pick it up,
no.
and I'm like, "Nope, they said it's rejected." So then we had to wait a little while longer.
Oh, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I got to go to Nashville a few times to go write some songs, and then got to go to CCMAs and meet a bunch of people. And
Yes.
then once we had like a good chunk of songs down, we're like, all right, time to record them. Shot the video, and
Awesome.
now I just let them kind of
Yeah.
they
That
just say go and I go.
I love it. Well, I've been watching you on socials. Like you say, and they just do the work. You've just hauled ass across like the whole country, pretty much. You've been working really hard. So, like, tell me about that experience and like obviously because that was more like a radio promo tour for the new single,
Yeah,
right?
that
Yeah,
was a radio tour. So like, it was 3 weeks, coast to coast. Um, just every single day, pretty much in a new city, except for the weekends where we'd like kind of chill out somewhere.
nice,
Um, but it was like my first time seeing Toronto, which was
very
freaking crazy. I've
cool.
never like seen buildings that big. I've,
Really?
I mean, really the only places I've been in Canada is like Saskatchewan, Alberta, and I've been
Okay,
to Ontario once to visit a friend of mine like a few
right.
years ago.
Yeah,
But that's it. And
I
so
love
now we got
this.
to hit like not every province, but just about every province.
Yeah. Yeah, you were very, very busy. And I love this about you is that you're so honest and so genuine about the whole experience. Like I'm excited for like in a few years' time when you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, like when Toronto was like I can't believe I went to Toronto. And it's like gonna be like there you are in Japan or whatever doing what great like
Oh,
doing all the
dude,
crazy
that'd be
things.
crazy.
When
That'd be
that
so cool.
that's a bucket list place for me actually is Japan. Where in the world like where would be like for you to be on a stage, where would be the best place in the world for you? Where is like a
Oh,
dream place to perform?
on a stage?
Yeah. Okay,
I,
twofold. I want to know where would be your like bucket list dream place to visit, but also your bucket list dream stage slash festival, whatever to perform at.
oh, that's hard. I mean, maybe one, this might sound dumb, but like the closest festival we have here, like Country Thunder Craven, like
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be. I made a bet with myself, and I was like, give me 5 to 10 years, and I'll be
yeah.
up on the main stage.
I'm gonna
And
make a
I
bet with you now, and I'm gonna say probably in a year. It's probably coming quick.
I hope so. That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah.
Be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Jess go to Australia once or twice. That looks cool. That would be
Yes.
a cool place to go to.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, and I
Um,
love that you're like picking a local stage because I think those are the ones that mean so much to artists is the ones that you always went to as a fan and then it's like one day I'll be on that stage. I think
yeah,
that's
exactly.
so important. But yeah, Australia is that could be super cool. Like the country music scene in Australia is
I didn't
big.
think it was as big as it is.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jess and listening to like them talk how big the market is over there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. So I'm going to put some money down right now that I think Craven and I think Australia are not too far away from your reach, my friend. I think
I hope so.
yeah, I'm putting it out there for you because I can see it happening for sure, for sure.
Thank you.
So far, what's been your favorite part of the process? What have you enjoyed the most? What's been like terrifying? What's been like, I'm sure there's so many different things that have been like, what is happening?
The coolest part is probably meeting everybody. Like, there's so many cool people you get to meet and just like hang out with, and then go back home and brag and be like, "Guess who I was hanging out with?"
That's awesome.
Weirdest part would probably be like, um, doing like live on air interviews or something.
Yeah,
Like when we were doing radio tour and like trying not to stumble over your words or say something stupid or like
for sure.
curse on the air or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like the first few times you do it.
Yeah. By the end of it, you must have been pro, though. You must have been like, here, it's like just muscle
By the end, I feel like
memory.
I was almost worse because I was like so tired and I was like, "Okay, let's be done with this."
Yeah, totally. It's got to be hard because you probably like, if we're honest about it, you want to sound super enthusiastic and be like, yeah, this is like, I'm saying it for the first time, but by the end of the tour, it's like, do
Yeah, you've
people
said it
still
like
want to
100
hear
times.
this? And it's like, no, but you're talking to different people.
Yeah, and it almost feels like in the beginning, it like just feels like you're talking naturally, and by the end, it almost feels like you've said it so much, it almost feels scripted. Like it feels like you've got a sales pitch.
Totally.
So
Totally.
like, but in the beginning, you're just like super amped to
Yeah.
tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
Mike called it too. He's like, you're gonna get sick of it, and I'm like, I don't think so.
2 days later, get me off this ride.
Get me back to God's country.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's no, it's really cool to see. I love watching this phase particularly for artists because it's just everything's new, everything's exciting. Like we had Nolene Hoffman on the podcast too. She's one of my clients. She's awesome. But I just remember like with her, and I think I was looking at the calendar the other day too, and it was literally a year ago, I think, or a little over a year. And we're doing a voice lesson. She's like, I'm going off to record with Zach Bryan tomorrow. And I'm like, hold the phone, like say that again. And it's just like gone from like the year of watching that journey and like how things I just love it when it's like the start, like hearing you say things like Craven would be cool. I'm like, yes, it's gonna happen. I can't wait to look back on this and be like, haha, Josh. So I just love this evolutionary moment in an artist's career. Like, how do you feel about it? Have there been moments where you're like, have a bit of imposter syndrome, or have you been like, let me at it, I want to go, or have you been like, how's everything felt for you?
Um, I don't know. Like it's sometimes it doesn't feel like it's real. Sometimes it just feels like I don't even know how to explain it, but like everything's like really, really exciting. And sometimes you like gotta try and not get so like caught up in it and just kind of enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
and then on the other hand too, like it's trying to get used to now l- like leaving and taking time off work, taking time away from home
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff and figuring out how to manage all that for the first time. Because like I've never left before, really.
Right.
So like trying to figure out that dynamic as well has been interesting, but I
Absolutely.
think I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, that's a lot to manage. Like, do you, a personal question, I don't know, do you have a family, or are you, like, what are you, like, is it just your parent? Like, what are you leaving behind when you go? Because that's always got to be hard, whether it is just parents, whether it is whatever, like, it's a transition and a big shift when you
Yeah.
dip like
Oh,
that.
probably the hardest thing for sure is my girlfriend. Because we live together currently.
Okay.
Um, and so that part's really hard being
Yeah.
away for that long because like we're very like we're very close.
Yeah.
Even when we're like when I am back home, very, very close. Barely ever spend time apart because
Right.
why would you? I don't really
Yeah.
want to spend time apart. Um, so then when I do have to leave, like especially the first time, like that was really tough. But then it has gotten a lot and a lot easier and a lot better going
Totally.
forward.
Yeah.
And like knowing now what to do or what not to do when going away. Like I think I've kind of got that part figured out
Yeah.
now. I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens the next time I leave.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's totally an evolution. Like it's an evolution and like an interesting growth for couples, I think. And you're set because Jess is your manager. And I
Mm,
think Jess and Clay are a perfect example of
yeah.
how they manage that whole dynamic of the, leaving the other half at home and going off and doing your thing. And it's just having that support and a partner that understands getting into it. And with you having been into music from the get-go, it's like she must have always understood that this was your dream. So it's like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
a shocker. It's like, see you later, honey. I'm off to go be a country music artist. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. The only thing she didn't like is like if me walking home from Red Door or something at 2 in the morning. Other than that, everything's been pretty good.
That's good. That's well. I'm glad. I'm glad you've got a supportive and encouraging partner there, because that's so important. But yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, having like, I'm sure Jess will be like, and Clay will probably have tons of advice for you on how to manage that as things get busier and
Yeah.
busier.
They
And
would do it forever.
yeah, yeah. What's your? I mean, obviously you're on a really cool trajectory right now. Things are going in the right direction. But what is your big goal? What would be like? Holy crap! I've made it. What would be the thing for you?
When I know I've made it is when I don't have to work during the week,
Yeah,
during the day.
yeah.
When I get my day job, then I'm like, all right, I'm set.
Totally, and that's really important for you to share that too, because I think there is, interestingly, a lot of shame in musicians at this level when they actually say that they have to still have a day job. Like, let's be realistic, it's not, the money doesn't start flowing until things get to a certain level. And I think it's really important, because I think like 90% of the artists that I work with are still doing a day job as well as working really, really hard, like you are, like doing all the traveling, doing all the shows, all the stuff. So like, props to all of you guys, because I have a hard enough time holding down my one job. So it's like the idea of just being like, okay, I've got to do all of these things. And the music industry, that side of things, it's not just like one job. You're wearing a million different hats. Like,
Yeah, you got to be a social media influencer. You got to be the singer. You got to be an interviewer. You got to be a million different people.
exactly. Like, here we are today, like you just got home from work and like you're sitting here talking to me and doing your thing, and it's like, okay, he's probably hungry, he's probably got better things to do, like poor Josh needs a nap. But here he is doing what he needs to do for his music. So like, so
I took a fat nap and then I crushed a Red Bull and came over here.
hey, there we go. You're learning.
Yeah, I know the tricks.
There we go. This is awesome. So what's, obviously Highway Money is out now. Tell us a little bit about the song.
All right, I wrote it with Jason Blaine and Dave Thompson, and I want to say it was Dylan Marlowe, Boys Back Home, that we kind of used as like when we went into the writing session about like, let's, write something that's like upbeat and fun and summery and like that kind of vibe. And I don't even think like I don't think we had an idea going in as to like what we wanted to write
Right.
about. But I think Jason was just mumbling and then said highway money, and Wave was like,
I
"What did you say?
love
Say
that.
highway money? Like that's sick."
Yeah.
So then we kept writing that, and then it was pretty unanimous when it came time to pick songs that this would be lead off.
Right.
Um, Everybody was like, "Yeah, 100%, pick that one.
Nice.
That one's the best." And I kind of tried to shoot for more of like a Florida Georgia Liney type of production on it,
For
like the
sure.
old 2000s to 2010s kind of almost like bro country sound.
Love it.
People like to, diss on that kind of country music, that era of country music, but I that's one of my favorites, like is
Yeah.
that kind of party vibe country music.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. And like, are you finding you're getting quite a lot of creative control over what you want to do? Like your ideas, you're getting encouraged to be like, okay, like for example, you said you wanted that vibe and everyone's cool. It's like, yeah, well, let's follow Josh's lead with that.
totally. I've got, in terms of the creative side of it, I've got like almost 100% of control on it.
Love
Like it's
that.
it, aside from like when we're writing, of course, because
Yeah.
there's other, songwriters and stuff, but like when it comes down to like production,
Hmm.
I can I'll send in all my references and I don't need like anybody else's approval to sign off and be like,
Awesome.
yeah, let's go that route. Like
Yeah. No, that's
we'll just
cool.
get the mixes back and be like, what does everybody think? Like, do you like this? Do you not like it? Does
Yeah.
it need more guitar? Like, what do you think? It's more like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had fun with
That's
it.
awesome. That is awesome. And I'm so happy. Like, it's so cool that Jess is in this kind of management role because just as an artist, she's fantastic. She's seen a lot of stuff. She knows a lot of what's going on. I think it's really, it must be really comforting as an artist to have someone who's been down that path and has seen both sides
Yeah.
really clearly. So I think that's just really, really cool. I think that's a great opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like she's been nothing but amazing to work with. And like she knows everything that is going to happen or I'm about to go through because she's already been through it 100
Yeah.
times. So it makes it a lot easier for me to be more prepared for those situations.
Yeah.
And even like little things that you wouldn't think of, like, packing certain things or
Mm-hmm.
how to greet certain people or, oh, you're going to want to rub shoulders with that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
things like that you wouldn't necessarily think about.
Yeah,
It's really awesome. And like even helping me out with like the social media side of things as well.
for
Like
sure.
if I've got a video idea or whatever, I'll run it by her, Carmen.
Yeah.
Or she'll, throw stuff in my calendar so that I'm like, she's like, take a video of this and post it on Saturday, like that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And she's from Saskatchewan, so there's that part of it as well, which
Yeah.
makes it even better.
That's awesome. No, that's so great. She's fantastic and I'm so glad that you two are working together because yeah, I'm excited to see this journey for you. So what's next? I know I hate that question because I'm always like I said, I'm always so excited for artists when they're hitting the trajectory, they're coming off the runway, and it's like, what do you mean, what's next? I am doing the best I can right now. Give me a break. So yeah, but that's always the goal, right? What's next? What's around the corner? What is on the horizon for you right now?
We've got more music mastered and ready to go.
Yeah.
We've got like uh probably 2 years worth of music that's been
Stop.
banked.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so this time when we went on our radio tour, like we showed them all the tracks that we've got
Love it.
kind of stored away. So now it's going to be kind of working those in gradually. I
Awesome.
don't know when the next single will come out. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know where I'm going next.
Yeah.
I don't know when I gotta travel. I don't know when the next show is. I just jump when they say jump.
That's awesome. Good for you. Oh, well, where can everyone follow you and find you and support you?
Pretty much on everything is just at Josh Stumpf official. Stumpf is
Perfect.
spelled Stumpf.
Perfect. I will put all of these links in the show notes so that people can go follow, go listen, stream your music, and get ready to see where you are jumping next when they say how high. We will all be there at Craven when you hit the stage, and I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
I'm sounding like I'm promoting his Craven show, but like I am foreshadowing his Craven show.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Dear
what you say.
universe, please accept this offering. So yeah, I'm excited. Awesome. And yeah, the trip to Australia too. That's gonna
Yeah,
be,
there we go.
yeah, yeah. Well, Josh, thank you so much for chatting with me. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything else going on? Anything else you want to talk about before we?
Oh, yeah, I do every year in August at my grandparents' farm in McDowell. We put on a charity show kind of thing called Sunset Country Music Festival, where we pick a different charity every year and we give all the money away. So
Amazing.
this year it's August 9th in McDowell. If you go search up Sunset Country Music Festival on social media, it should pop up and there'll
That's
be all the
awesome.
information on there.
That's great. Do you have like a bunch of different artists? Who's like what? How does it roll out? What's it look like?
Yeah, we try and pick a bunch of local people to kind of support local musicians and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be myself, my girlfriend Mercy Glover.
Amazing. She's a
And then
musician too, then, hey?
she is, yeah.
This is perfect. Okay, great. This
And then
makes
it'll
me
be
happy.
us, Evan Baxter, and Brett Down,
Love it.
and all Saskatchewan folk out there.
Super cool.
And it's gonna be a good time. Light fireworks, got a beer gardens and the food truck, and it's on the farm. It's
What?
literally the stage is literally a couple of flat deck trailers, so it's
Perfect.
yeah.
That sounds so. That is my thing. We do something out here on my farm every summer too, and it's just like, love it. Have the bonfire going, jam until goodness knows what time afterwards. Everyone's in the trailers. Good times.
It's the best. I think I'd rather go out in a field around a bonfire and just get lit up, then go to the bar any night.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Unless it's -40 outside. But
Yeah, that's the exception. Then you go into the shop and turn the heater on.
there it is. See, that's a wise man right there. Awesome. Oh, Josh, thank you so much. It was so great to catch up with you again. And I'm just always so happy when I see stuff and see your progress online and things. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on here.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do leave a review, it's really useful to help others discover the show. You can also check out the weekly vocal workout over on Patreon. I'll leave the links in the show notes where you can access weekly vocal training from yours truly and totally rock your voice. Thanks again for listening. Check out Rocket Vocal Studios on social and on the web. And I look forward to seeing you again next time.